Hello, the Pioneer viewers. We continue to bring you all the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. While the war continues at full speed on the front, the developments in the background have significant effects on the course of the war. Increasing conflicts in recent days reveal some uncertainties about the state of the war. In a second year of the war, increasing clashes are eliminating the hopes for the end of the war. The war remains on the international agenda as the parties continue their mutual attacks. While European countries and United States are closely following the war, the statements of state leaders also touch upon important issues. In times of war, it is very important to gain international support. Things are not going well for Russia, which is isolated in the international system. Ukraine, on the other hand, continues to make important gains in the war by improving its alliance relations. The Ukrainian army's struggle, which took Russia by surprise, was a big surprise for Moscow. After Russia's full-scale invasion attempt against Ukraine, Ukraine increased its international allies and received support throughout the war. The Kiev administration, which has been working on developments of the Ukrainian army, continues to receive positive results. The Ukrainian army, which continues its counterattacks in the region occupied by Russia, is giving Russian troops a hard time. The support provided to the Ukrainian army has been increasing in recent days. And the Ukrainian Army Commander, who was appointed at the head of the Ukrainian army in the past days, gave information about the war with his statements. Stating that the war process continues, Commander Syrskyi invited everyone to be patient. The increase in the support packages announced for Ukraine in recent days has made Russia uneasy. The support to be provided to the Ukrainian army is expected to change the balances on the front line. Now, if you're ready, let's analyze the statements of the Ukrainian commander and other developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to report on Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. I also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments with us. Tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. Ukrainian Army Commander Alexander Syrskyi, who took office recently, made important statements about the situation on the front line after his visit to eastern Ukraine with Defense Minister Umerov. In recent days, the Russian troops have seen attacking the eastern parts of the front in the direction of Avdiivka. The Ukrainian army is on high alert against the intensive offensive of the Russian troops to advance in the region. Stating that the operational environment is extremely complex and stressful, Syrskyi said that the Russian invaders are trying to gain an advantage in the region. He explained that the Russian troops aim to increase pressure in the region and gain numerical superiority. Stating that a strong Ukrainian defense has been established against the attacks of the Russian troops, Syrskyi said that intense effort is being made to hold the positions. Avdiivka is also known as one of the bloodiest front line of the war, which is in the second year. The clashes in the region have caused heavy casualties on both sides many times, and the region where the fighting intensified and has such been going on since the beginning of the war has a strategic importance. Avdiivka is located in the Donetsk region, which the Kremlin claims is part of Russia. Syrskyi said he and Umerov also visited Ukrainian forces further north, near the town of Kupiansk, where Russian troops are pursuing and pressuring Ukrainian positions. The commander, who visited the hotspot of the front line, said visits to different parts of the front line would also be organized. After his visits, Syrskyi reported on the work done without any giving details. He said that the Ukrainian army, and especially the frontline troops, will be provided with the equipment that they need. He has stated that important decisions were taken to prevent attacks by the Russian troops and to strengthen the capabilities of the Ukrainian army. The destruction of the Russian warship by the Ukrainian army the other day caused great repercussions, stating that the offensive operation in the Ukrainian army changed their methods after Syrskyi took office. Military experts said that it could be one of the breaking moments of the war. The Russian Navy has lost a significant part of its Black Sea fleet. The Russian ships targeted in the strategic operations organized by the Ukrainian army are sinking into the waters, regardless of whether they are big or small. The Ukrainian army also seems satisfied with the results. Another important development regarding the strategy and the war plans of the Ukrainian army took place the other day. Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov and the newly appointed commander of the armed forces Alexander Syrskyi discussed Kiev's military plans for the 2024 with the Supreme Commander of NATO Armed Forces in Europe and the commander of the Ukrainian Security Assistance Group. After the meeting, Ukrainian Defense Minister Umerov said that it was clear an important meeting. Ukraine's military plans for 2024 were discussed and Ukraine's priorities were announced. Items such as improving the structure, optimization, and quality of training of the Ukrainian armed forces and the creation of additional personnel were discussed. While important developments are taking place on the Ukrainian front, the news is met with great concern in Moscow. The support packages provided to the Ukrainian army by the US and Europe had led to Moscow's reactions. For Russia, which is dealing with embargoes and sanctions, the support packages given to the Ukraine seem quite dangerous. Recently, the UK administration took an important step for Ukraine. British Foreign Minister David Cameron made an important statement before his visits to Bulgaria, Poland, and Germany. He said that he would encourage his allies to increase defense production to help Ukraine in its fight against Russia. The visits will include plans on how to strengthen Ukraine in the war and how Ukraine can win if Russia prolongs hostilities and the foundation for Ukraine's long-term future. Recently, French Foreign Minister Stéphane Séjourné also announced an important development for Ukraine. It was reported that a bilateral agreement between Ukraine and France will be signed in the near future. In the coming days, Paris will announce the finalized figure for both military and civilian aid to Kiev. The agreement is expected to be signed between French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after its finalization. A large aid packages from the US is also expected to be allocated to Ukraine in the coming days. While the work on the large packages to be sent to Ukraine continues, the Moscow administration is watching the developments with concern. So, how do you interpret the Ukrainian Army Commander's visits to conflict zones, and what kind of gains do you think that the Ukrainian Army can make after the change of the commander? How do you assess the announced support for Ukraine and international developments? How do you think the latest developments and news of support for Ukraine were received in Moscow? We value your opinion. Please share it with us.